Adobe XD, new update, new features. We're going to take a look in this video. Hey guys, you're watching Dansky, the place to be to develop your creative skills, and in this video we're going to jump into the latest version of XD, the new update if you will, and we're going to check out some of the new features and I'm going to show you how to use them. So we've got auto animate, voice triggers, drag gestures and more. It's going to be super awesome. Let's jump into it. Rightio, so we're now in Adobe XD and the first two features that we're going to take a look at together are auto animate and voice triggers. So you can see I've got three artboards on here. We've got the first artboard with our cute little robot and he's going to say, "Hey Daniel, how can I help?" I'm then going to ask him how he can help by showing me my photos. It will transition through to this artboard and then I'm going to respond to the robot once more and it will go through to the last artboard. We're going to do that using my voice and also animate these artboards together with some really smooth transitions using the new auto animate feature as well. So first off, let's go into prototype mode and we can click on the first artboard, and normally we would click and drag on the blue tab, but we're just going to single left click and the trigger is going to be a time delay. So when we land on this first artboard, we're going to have a delay before doing anything. And let's just set this to 0.2 seconds so it doesn't take too long. And so after 0.2 seconds, the action is going to be speech playback. And I'm going to type in here, "Hey Daniel, how can I help?" Just so it matches what's on our artboard, and press return. And if I go up to the play icon in the top right corner,
"Hey Daniel, how can I help?"
Fantastic, there we go. Our robot is talking. So next I'm going to click on the microphone icon. So the microphone icon and the circle are grouped together. So we have a blue tab coming off of these, and I'm going to drag this to this middle artboard. Now here we want the trigger to be our voice. This is the new feature. And I want the command to be, "Hey robot, show me my photos." This is the line that I'm going to need to say to activate this trigger. Press return, and the transition is going to be the new auto animate feature. So you can see the destination here is this artboard here called results. The easing is set to snap, and we'll do this over the course of 0.5 seconds as well. You can make this shorter for a snappier transition, or you can make it a bit longer for a longer, more drawn out transition. So we've got all the settings done there. So if I click off of this here, now when I run the preview, I will need to hold down the spacebar on my keyboard. That enables Adobe XD to listen for my voice. So I'm going to click play.
"Hey Daniel, how can I help?"
I'm now going to hold down the spacebar on my keyboard. "Hey robot, show me my photos." And there we go. So it takes us to the next artboard. So we know that it's working, which is always a good start when you're doing a tutorial. So you can see here I've got the robot, the text and the microphone icon, and I of course copy and pasted this onto this second artboard and moved everything up. Now if I go to the layers panel, you can see here this is called voice button up here, the group, and this is also called voice button as well. So it's important that your layers and groups and everything has the same name. So Adobe XD knows what to transition together with the auto animate feature. So let's close down the layers panel and switch back to design view, because you can see I've moved the robot up here, but having his feet just sticking out the top looks a bit weird, and on the iPhone 10 it's going to be covered anyway. So let's just select the robot, and from the appearance panel on the right we'll bring down the opacity. So as all of this moves up to make way for the photos, the robot will fade out. So similarly, we can take the photos here that are grouped together, go to edit and copy, and on the first artboard, go to edit and paste. Now if I bring these all the way down here, and again from the appearance panel, just drop that opacity down. What's going to happen is as we transition from the first to the second artboard, the photos will go from 0% opacity to 100% opacity and slide in like this. This is the beauty of the auto animate feature. So now we're on that second dartboard, this one in the middle. We're going to select results and of course switch over to prototype mode. So now we can grab this tab here and we can have another delay. So we'll select time, and the delay here we can set to 0 seconds or 0.2 seconds, something nice and short. And the action is going to be again speech playback. And we're going to type, How's this? Again, so it matches what is on the artboard, and press return. And then we're going to click on the microphone again and drag this over to our third artboard. And of course, you guessed it, this is going to be the new voice trigger. And the command is going to be perfect. Thank you. And press return. And again, the action is auto animate. Snap is the easing, 0.5 seconds as the duration. And then it will take me to this last artboard. And then on the last artboard, when we land there, we just need to click on the artboard name at the top, single click on that blue tab, and change this to a time delay, 0 seconds, and we're going to have the action as speech playback. And then again, we're going to have the robot say exactly what is on our artboard. So awesome, happy to help. Press return, and hopefully I've done this correctly and this works. So let's click on the play button.
Hey Daniel, how can I help?
Remember to hold down the spacebar so it detects your voice. Hey robot, show me my photos.
How's this?
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome, happy to help.
And there we go, there's a look at auto animate and voice triggers in XD. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at drag gestures. So you can see here, if I just zoom in, we've got some artwork. We have Banff, Canada and the Swiss mountains. These are all grouped separately together and they're on the pasteboard at the moment, so they don't actually have an artboard. So what I'm going to do is just take both of these and drag them together onto this artboard. So you can see here, we can see them both. And if I drag over both of them and go to Object, down to Group, or if you're on a PC, just right click and select Group. You can see these are now grouped together, and of course this one fades because it's outside of the artboard, so it will be hidden when I deselect it. If I reselect it, it appears again. Now I'm going to name this group here Photos, just by double clicking on it. And now that I've done all of that, what I can do is select this, go to Edit, Copy, and just jump over to the second artboard here, and go to Edit, Paste, and then just drag this to the left. So you can see here, we now have the two different artboards. We've got this one here and this one here. And if I select each one, you can see the inactive state as well. So if we just close our layers panel down, go to prototype mode. And then what I'm going to do is simply select this image here, click on the blue tab and drag this to the second artboard. Now the trigger is going to be a drag and the action is going to be auto animate. And you can choose your easing as well. I'll leave this snap for this example. And then simply we're going to do the same thing on this one. Select the image or the images that are grouped together. And from the blue tab, drag back to that first artboard. And you can see it remembers the same settings, which is handy. And then we're going to preview this by clicking the play icon. Let's pop that right in the middle. And we can now drag between those two artboards. And if you've got your smartphone connected, with the device preview option up here, then this is going to be even more awesome, swiping and dragging using your finger on your phone. Rightio, so the next thing we're going to take a look at is plugins. Now, Adobe XD in the latest update supports third-party plugins. There's loads being added every day now. It's just crazy, and you can add extra functionality to XD with this new feature. So you can see here, I've got a repeat grid group. I'm just going to right-click and select Ungroup Grid. And then the new plugins menu at the top. You can see I've installed a few here, and we can select Discover Plugins. And you can also access this from the welcome screen by clicking the Add-ons tab. So here you can view the plugins that I've installed already. And we can select all plugins, and let's just go and type a search. So there's one called Photo Splash, so let's install that here. Super quick and easy to install and update any existing plugins you've got. We can now close this down, go to plugins at the top, and voila, Photo Splash is there. So we can click this and it loads up a separate interface. We've got a nice little tutorial there. And what we can do is we can type a keyword. So let's just type cheese and select find photos. We've got lots of photos of cheese and other bits and bobs. We can select or deselect. There's lots of other options around here as well. So you can choose the quality, blah, 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 lots of different settings. So you can mess around with that. And then we've got 30 images selected here, which is convenient because we've got 30 circles. It's almost Almost like I planned this tutorial out in advance. So let's click apply, and it will just take a minute to load these images in from Unsplash. And there we go, you can see those images are all added in. So that's literally just one plugin, and there are tons to choose from. So go crazy, install some plugins, and yeah, have fun. Next, we're going to take a look at another new feature, linked symbols. So you can see I've got some icons here, and they're all symbols in the symbols panel. A symbol in XD means that if you create multiple instances of a symbol, then you update one instance and it will update all of them at once. It's a huge time saver, and now we can work with these across different documents. So for example, if I go and select the tablet icon here and go to edit and copy, and I can just switch over to a new document and then go back to edit and down to paste. It of course will paste that in, and now we have a green link icon to indicate that this is linked. So if I go back and change the color or any of the properties of that symbol in the original document, and then just go up to File down to Save. If I switch back over to the new document, you can see that this now changes to a blue link. This indicates that there are some changes that need to be updated. If you see a red link at all, you will need to relink that, and you can relink it by going over to the symbols panel, right-clicking, and it will say relink at the bottom. Of course, we don't need to relink this, we just need to update this, and you can see that it brings in those changes. So if we right-click on the symbol in the new document, we can also edit in the source document, which is of course over here. So clicking on this will just instantly take you to that. And we can also make this symbol a local symbol. So if I click this, what it does is it just makes it a local symbol, local to this document, and it essentially doesn't rely on this old document anymore. And lastly, a couple of other features I'm just going to quickly touch on. You can now open Adobe Illustrator files directly into XD. It remembers your layers, all that good stuff. You could do it with Photoshop before. Now you can do it with Illustrator as well. And you could also export your designs from Adobe XD to After Effects if you'd like to add motion to them. So simply just select your artboard, go to File, down to Export, and then select After Effects, and it will open that up in After Effects with all your layers, everything all intact, ready for you to start animating. Ho-ho! So there we go, that was a look at the new features for Adobe XD. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm having a ton of fun trying out these features, seeing just how far I can push them, especially the new auto animate feature. Love it. So if you've got any questions or comments, please do drop them down below. But as always, like this video if you enjoyed it, take care, and I'll see you next time.